Hi, I'm Tim DeBellis, and I want to welcome you back to Sonoma County Connections, where we highlight the people, the places, and the passions that make Sonoma County one of the most inspiring places to live, to work, and yes, to taste. Today, I'm at beautiful Lambert Bridge Winery here in Dry Creek Valley, a region that's not only home to some of the world's best wines, but a lifestyle that's hard to match. I've been a loyal member here at Lambert Bridge for over 10 years now, and I'm so excited because today I'm joined by someone whose work I've long admired. Jen Higgins, Vice President, General Manager, and Chief Winemaker here at Lambert Bridge. Jen, thank you so much for having me here today. You know I love being here.
I love having you here, and thanks for thinking of us. This
Absolutely.
is great.
Yeah, it's so great. I talk to a lot of people, and they're so interested in winemaking and the winemaking process. So I thought we could just jump right in today and hear about your journey into winemaking, hear a little bit about the Lambert Bridge story and why you think that this region is such an impressive place for winemaking and for living.
Well, it's just a beautiful place to grow up and explore, and I mean, you can't go wrong with Lambert Bridge either. This is where I get to come to work every day.
Did you really?
I did, yes. It's pretty great. I did. I came to work today. We're working.
You came
right
to work
now.
today. This
I
is where you
know.
work.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. So I know that you grew up here, like you said, and I know reading your bio, there was a couple things I learned when I read your bio, actually. We've known each other
great.
for a long time, but there's a
I
few things
know.
that I learned reading your bio. So there was a point in time where you were actually considering a different career path, is that right?
Yes. I was sure I was going to go to med school. And I have a degree in biochemistry from Davis. So when people ask, where do you go to school or where did you go to college, I'll say Davis, and they just assume it was in viticulture and enology for winemaking. And I was just, that was not the case. And I graduated, and then I ended up moving to Italy for a couple years.
Oh
You
my
know,
God.
poor, no responsibilities. It was like the perfect time in the life. So I went over there, and I didn't learn winemaking there, but I drank a lot of wine. Okay. You know, I mean, it's what you do there.
It's Italy.
I
Why
know,
not,
it's
right?
perfect. It's perfect. And so I ended up teaching English. I worked in restaurants. I worked as a bartender in a private nightclub. Very fun. And I was at the same time studying for my MCATs because I wanted to go to Tulane. That was where I wanted Tulane Med School. And I ended up moving back after a couple of years, and I got a job. You want my whole history here?
Well, I mean, it's interesting. I mean,
It is.
The
It's like the journey.
The journey is what is interesting, and I think that's what people really want to hear.
Yep. And I got a job at a winery in the tasting room part-time at a place called Simi Winery here in Healdsburg. And this was in the 90s, early 90s. And Zelma Long was running the whole show. She was director of winemaking. She was the president of the winery. And you know that whole saying, you've got to see it to be it?
Yes.
I saw her, and I did this hard left turn, and I never went to med school, and I ended up going into winemaking. And so, and that was, I mean, it was so fun. And with winemaking, it's really special. One, I get to be at the place where I grew up. I mean, I found my passion, what I absolutely love doing, in a place that I absolutely love, where my mom is still here, my brothers and sisters and cousins and aunts and uncles, we're all still here in Sonoma County. And I wouldn't have it any other way. So it's wonderful.
What a great journey.
I know.
Right?
I know.
And there's something really special when you're on a journey and it leads you to a point where you're doing something that you're so passionate about.
I know.
Right?
The fun part was it was a reminder, the winemaking part was a reminder of my childhood. So I grew up, and in the 70s, the wine industry was just getting started in both Napa and Sonoma. And so everything kind of had this mom and pop feel here in Sonoma. It was a lot of redwood buildings, and it was a lot of kind of like 2 barrels and a board for the tasting room. And so my parents, we didn't have a ton of money growing up. There were 4 kids. So my parents would go to tasting rooms, and they would go in and drink, and we would run amok through the picnic area and in the ponds and the whole thing. And then I would go into the tasting room, and my dad used to hand me the glass. And I remember specifically being below the bar. So I was like 7 or 9. I was a short kid anyway, but I was below the bar. And he'd hand it to me. And you couldn't get arrested in the 70s either for having minors drinking in the tasting room, I guess. I don't know.
Those years. Oh.
And he would say, name the varietal, name the oak. You know, is it French or American? And can you taste the butter in the Chardonnay? That's malolactic fermentation. And so when you're a kid, everything is just like, and that was the love of wine. So it's kind of like you grow up here and you just have it around you the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And you're 20 minutes from the beach and 20 minutes from a mountaintop for sunset. And you're also 20 minutes from a vineyard, or 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And it surrounds you. And to have a career in that I just love. I love that whole piece, but it just is an extension of my whole life. So it's pretty cool.
Well, it is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and there was something about that experience that spoke to you, and it compelled you to kind of follow that journey.
Yes. As soon as I met Zelma and I saw that door opening, it was like a no-brainer. It was like, of course. Why wasn't I thinking
Why
about
wasn't I
this?
doing this before?
Yes.
I kind of feel the same way about my career in real estate now. So I had numerous careers throughout my life, and nothing really, while I was very successful at a lot of them, nothing really was passionate. I was never really passionate about what I was doing. I was good at it, but I was never really passionate about it. Until I reached the point where I said, I need to follow that passion. I need to do something that excites me when I wake up in the morning. And that's how I found real estate. So I get that passion connection. It's what drives us.
Well, and you're such a people person, and wine is such a great way to bring people together, that I think it's just, and I love people too. That's my shot in the arm, is when people come and visit, especially from far away places, and they remind us of, how lucky you are to live where you do.
Absolutely.
And they're coming here on vacation, and we get to experience it every day.
I know.
And it's a beautiful
We're
day
here every
out
day.
right now.
Exactly.
And it's just one of those, and it's springtime, and it's just a
Springtime,
reminder of
the weather's perfect.
Why
the
we're
rain has
here.
stopped.
I know, and it's just so beautiful right now.
Well, speaking of the wine, as I said, I've been here for 10 years, and I'm here because the wine is exceptional. When you think about winemaking, and we've had this conversation before, what is it that inspires you about a particular varietal or a particular vintage? I mean, how does that all come together? I mean, that's the secret in the winemaking process, really, right?
Right. You've got to love what you're doing, because it shows in the glass. It's you capture your enthusiasm and your passion in the bottle for this job, and it's pretty cool like that. And I think it's the same way an artist feels when they paint. Captures the passion. Right. And so it's so funny. My job is to walk a lot of vineyards, go up and walk through places, and we're looking for places here at Lambert Bridge that have a sense of place. Mm-hmm. And so my job is to take that vineyard and make sure that when I taste it finished, it's going to spark that picture of what those grapes look like at harvest. So it's that line that continues through.
So in a sense, and I'm going to go out on a limb here, in a sense, you're trying to tell the story of that vineyard.
Absolutely.
Through the wine.
That's my job.
Yeah. A storyteller. You're a storyteller.
Thanks, Tim.
I love that.
God,
You're a storyteller.
It is, and every wine has a story, and I think that's a big part of the job, is to kind of like make sure people know what that story is.
Yeah.
And the thing that is really great about where we're at here in Sonoma County is that it's so diverse. That's got so many pockets and so many different areas. And so if you want to go up above the tree line, there's places for you. And you have these amazing views. But if you want to go in the redwoods, there's places for you. And so the vineyards are the same way, and each one has its own personality, depending on where it's growing, and how old it is, and what the vines are, what the clone is, and all that stuff, and the soils. And so, the storytelling part is a big deal. You want to be able to tell that story.
Exactly. And when I'm listing a home for sale, that's what I go to as well, because every home is more than just bedrooms and bathrooms and kitchens and square footage. There's a story there. Right. There's a story in every home. And so when I'm thinking about what I want to do and how I want to promote this home, it's like, what is the story? What
Right.
is the story that this home is telling me? And in turn, how can I tell that story to potential buyers?
I think I didn't ever think about this, but I think you're spot on with that. The story, how a home makes you feel, how a wine makes you feel. There's an emotional response. When you walk into a new home,
Yeah.
I mean, I've only ever looked at one home that I bought. I bought it. I walked in, I said, this is my house, I can feel it. I've never looked at more than one house, and I still live there, and I just love that. But it resonated.
Yeah.
And you come to a winery for a visit, you taste a glass of wine, there's just that emotional response that you have at that moment. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, see?
We've got all these
Storytelling.
storytelling.
Similarities. There's so many
I know.
similarities
I
between
love
what you
it.
do in the winery and what I do in real estate.
Yeah, you
It's
see?
great, right?
We're always finding common ground around
Always
here.
finding common
This is
ground.
amazing.
Yeah. So speaking of wines, what is it that we're
The one that
sipping
I'm-
here today?
It's the wine that I keep smelling but not tasting.
Oh, we should taste this.
Let's taste this.
Cheers.
Hey, cheers, Tim. Pretty darn good.
Oh my God.
And I say
So
that
delicious.
about, I'm always very humble, but I just, when you taste that first sip and you're like, oh, I can keep going. This is great. 2019 Sonoma County Cabernet Franc.
Okay.
So we are focused here at Lambert Bridge on Bordeaux varietals.
And what does that mean for somebody who may not, because quite honestly,
know.
I wasn't sure what that meant.
I
early
know.
on. What does that mean?
This wine business is just all these words, all these areas and things. There are 5 main Bordeaux red varietals that come out of that section in France around the city of Bordeaux. And then there's 2, a third one too, but 2 main white varietals that come out of there. And the reds, I'll just go for it. Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Cabernet Franc, Malbec, and Petit Verdot. And the whites are Sauvignon Blanc and Semillon. So here at Lambert Bridge, we're focused on making wines. We do each one of those different varietals by itself in a bottle, and then I'll do some blends.
Yeah.
And the whites, same thing. We have a Semillon, we have a Sauvignon Blanc, and we have a blended.
Yeah.
And it's
This is,
for me, it's just my happiest
it's
place.
exceptional. This is absolutely delicious. Semillon is my all-time favorite.
I was actually going to ask you what your favorite wine is.
Semillon, without question. I mean, the Sauvignon Blanc is delicious.
It is delicious.
But the Semillon is my go-to.
Yep, and for me right now, Semillon is something that we started making in 2016. So I haven't had it in my world for very long. And so I'm still learning. And I'm sure your business is like this too, where every day is something new. And you're just learning a new way of doing it,
Right.
a new story to tell.
A new story to tell. Yeah.
And it's really fun. It's my favorite white grape to work with right now.
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely delicious. My all-time go-to white wine, certainly in the summertime.
I love it.
So we're strolling through the gardens here, which is one of my favorite places at the winery. That's what makes, I think, again, the whole experience really
I
exceptional.
know, as I walk into you.
As you walk into So we didn't touch on this, but I did want to have the opportunity to talk about the story of Lambert Bridge.
Oh, it's a good
You mentioned
story.
that it was a family-owned winery. So talk a little bit more about that. What is...
So family owned, we've actually only had 2 owners the entire time. So Jerry Lambert built the winery in 1975. And then Patty Chambers, our current owner, who is an amazing woman, bought it from Jerry in 1993. So she's had it for over 30 years. This year we're celebrating our 50th anniversary.
Oh my gosh.
I know, 50 years.
50 years. Are you doing anything special?
Oh yes. We are, but we can't talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Because it's still like secret, but it's going to be it's a celebration year for sure. I did make 2 special wines for it, which I'm really excited about. One is a Bordeaux blend of all 5 varietals that we talked about earlier, and the other one is a late disgorged sparkling, which will be fantastic.
So we're out on the lawn here, and this is where so many of
Picnic
the
area.
amazing events happen throughout the
It's
year.
a great place for a party.
Great place for a party. Speaking of parties, there's a
Yes.
party coming up, isn't there?
Oh, the rosé release.
The Cirque du Rosé
Cirque
party.
du Rosé party, which is epic. I just have to say epic.
Epic.
Every year it's epic. There's aerialists usually and dancers, and it gets a little out of hand. It's
Awesome.
pretty wonderful. It's our
Yeah.
silliest party we do at
Yeah.
Lambert Bridge.
It's I know that we do the summer party out here, and it's just such an amazing time. Wine stations, food stations, music.
I know, it's great.
You're out on the lawn. It's such a beautiful area.
And we do picnics out here. So in the summertime, it's a great place to come. Get a bottle of wine. You can hang out on a blanket or at the picnic tables. Bring the family, bring the dogs. We're dog friendly, we're kid friendly. So it's pretty amazing out here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, it's the whole package.
It's the whole package.
It's the whole package.
I know. It's a little bit of everything. It's early spring right now, so in about, well, I bet you 3 weeks, this place will be just vibrant with flowers.
Popping.
And, oh yeah, it's just an amazing spot.
Nice.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
So-
Another cheers.
Another cheers, Tim.
The thing that I love about all the wines that you do here, there's such a complexity to it, but at the same time, it's approachable, it's simple, and I kind of, drawing analogies between winemaking and real estate. When I look at a home, a beautifully crafted home, there's all of the details, all the nuances individually, but collectively they come together
Yes.
to make something truly special. And
I-
I feel the same way about the wine.
I think that's great. I think that's really, really great because, like a home, when you're walking in, you might feel something, but you can't put your finger on it, but it feels right.
Right.
Fabric's the same way, where you're feeling a fabric and you're like, I don't know why I like this one so much, but it feels well made with intention and all that.
Exactly.
And wine is the same thing. So yeah, when we play with blending and we do these percentages and they're just like, do we want a half a barrel, 15 gallons, is it 1%, is it 2% of something? It's not something that you can actually put your finger on per se, but you feel it and it's better. And so that's what that's about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, this whole series is about connections.
Yes.
And one of the things that I love about being a member of Lambert Bridge are the connections that I've made over the years with the different members. And what has always impressed me is that even though Lambert Bridge is deeply rooted here in Sonoma County, your membership spans the entire country.
It does.
Right? Yeah.
It does.
So what is it that you think makes this Lambert Bridge experience something so unique that you draw membership from all over the country?
I think nothing brings people together like wine across the table. That's just my belief and my understanding. It brings people together from all different places.
Right.
Like you were saying. Then there's that shared memory that we get when we have parties, and my favorite thing to do is be the social butterfly and connect people and say, you know what? Wait, you're from Ohio, they're from Ohio, do you guys know each other? And suck. All of a sudden we've got this huge contingent from Ohio that drinks Lambert Bridge.
Yeah.
And they all come out here, they love Sonoma County, and they're coming out here to just have a great time. There's nothing better.
I agree. I mean, that's one of the things that I love about the events here is that you can meet so many different people and you can connect with so many different people. And, we've made friendships by just being wine club members here.
I know.
Yeah, it's really fascinating.
It's a really special spot. It really is.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so amazing because, again, I've made such tremendous connections here at the events, and we've built friendships with people here at the wine club, at the winery because of the wine club. So it really is amazing. And even when I bring family and friends from across the country here, it's one of the highlights, and I make sure I do that every time people are visiting. They come here and they say, wow, this is so amazing.
Yeah.
It's like there's this instant feeling of connection, this instant feeling of being in a place where it's so familiar. And I think it's that sense of discovery that they feel like, wow, we've discovered something that's so unique, so special that really resonates with them, and it just gives me joy because I have so much joy when I'm here. And I love sharing that with anybody who comes here to visit.
I love to hear that. That's great. We work, I don't even know if we work hard, to be honest. I think we just have a really great way of welcoming people here. And we love it when people invite other people to come experience us and the winery and the wines, because, you know, we're pretty quiet. We don't advertise. We have people that are inviting other friends, and so it's word of mouth for us. And because of that, and this is my secret, nice people know nice people. This is, thanks, Tim. Nice people know nice people, and then all of a sudden you're just surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of very nice people, because it's very organic how that works.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what I feel. Everything here is organic.
Yeah.
You know, when we come here, people know us and they treat us special. I'm a firm believer in when I'm delivering service to my client, I want my clients to feel like they're getting an exceptional experience. Yeah. And truth be told, I take a lot of cues from you guys here and how you make us feel.
I love that.
It's true. It's how you make us feel when we come here. And I know we're just one of, you know, hundreds of members, but every time we're here, you make us feel like we're so special. And I take my cues from you because I want my clients to feel that way when I'm serving them.
I love that. One, you are very special, just because of who you are. Just
I love being,
so you know.
I love being special.
But it's just so important to have, I mean, everybody has so many choices nowadays. There's over 400 wineries that they could go visit. And they keep coming back here because they felt something.
Yeah.
And they felt important, they felt seen, they felt recognized. It wasn't a pretentious experience. It was thoughtful, and they felt like they wanted to be here. So
Yeah.
it's pretty special in that.
And I can say that from firsthand experience.
I love that.
It's very special.
That's great.
So I do want to say, and sort of kind of wrap things up here, what you and your team have built here is truly exceptional. It's thoughtful, there's intent behind what you do, and there's no doubt that there's passion in what you do, and it comes through in the wines, and it comes through in the experience. And I'm just so happy that I get to experience that and that we're a part of that, and I want to thank you for that.
Oh my goodness. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. On the other side, I get to work in a place that I love for a family that I love. It's family owned. So I just know this. I get to make wine for people that I get to meet on a daily basis. So it's a very great connection. I know exactly who we're making wine for. People like you. Semillon. This is good. I now know this. I'll just call it Tim Semillon now in the barrel. But it's the best of everything. And I'm going to loop back to Sonoma County and just say it has the best of everything. And there's the wine, but don't forget the beer and the bread and the cheese and the meats and the organic farmers and the coast where the fish are coming out of the ocean right there. And they're, you know, it's an exceptional place. It really is.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. And while wine is certainly a big part of that lifestyle, to your point, it's so diverse. There are so much more beyond just the wine. But I'm here because of the wine.
Oh, you can stay here as long as you want. You can stay here forever.
Thank you. Well, listen, Jen, I want to thank you for taking the time today to join me. Thank you for having us here at this beautiful winery. If more people want to learn about Lambert Bridge, how can they get in touch with you or learn more about the winery?
I think the easiest way is to go onto the website, which is www.lambertbridge.com. So
Wonderful.
It's an easy, great way to do it.
Well, thank you so much. Cheers.
Cheers, Tim.
Cheers to your time.
Thanks.
Thank you, and cheers to a beautiful glass of wine. If you're dreaming about a life in wine country, I'd love to help make your journey a reality. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.